Good evening or afternoon. Welcome to Chad and Tommy's Collectibles. Today we are going over our best long-term players at the right field position. How you doing today, Tom?
Good.
Terrific, terrific. Who do you think is going to be the top guys on our current players that have the best track to the Hall of Fame, and that you should maybe buy those cards?
I don't want to waste my money on cards because I
Oh.
have other savings in my life, but
Oh,
I'm not paying for them, but other people can. And
so I should waste my money on cards?
yeah, sure.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So the right field position, Tom, is a pretty low bar. Just a lot of nothing coming out of right field historically. So it should be super easy for anybody that wants to get into the Hall of Fame to get in at that position.
Yeah, but there's a lot of good Hall of Fame
I know that was
right fielders.
that was a joke. Babe Ruth and Hank
Oh.
Aaron and Musial, Frank Robinson, Clemente, Mel Ott, Al Kaline, Rip. Reggie. I mean, it's amazing. So the average WAR for the 27 people that are in the Hall of Fame is 71.9, and this is Baseball References data. So Fangraphs does it just a little bit different, but they're usually fairly close. And so what we're looking at today with the right fielders today, are they on a trajectory to get to 60? Because if you look at recent players, Tony Gwynn, Larry Walker's are 72, Tony Gwynn, Ichiro, things of that nature. Can you get to that 60 level? And all we're saying is just get there, and then you're in the conversation. So again, we're looking for players that can achieve 60 WAR by about age 35 when skills really start to deteriorate, and then you're on the track and in the conversation. So,
Um,
sound good?
I really think that the Hall of Famers maybe
Their cards hold up the best, and that's why we want them.
yeah, those cards are probably going to be the
Exactly.
best, but
Everyone wants a Hall of Famer.
the ones that aren't in the Hall of Fame yet that are also right fielders that are amazing and gonna be in the Hall of Fame, they could catch up on the cards, but most likely not.
Right, we're just going to stick to guys that are on the Hall of Fame track. And so we've got 5 guys today, not sequential or anything like that, but the most notable players. And so we're going to start off with Aaron Judge.
He was really good in his rookie year. Got the
He was amazing.
Rookie of the Year, all-time home run lead until Pete Alonso came.
Very good. You know your stuff here. So yeah, he had 8.3 WAR, and then really the only question about him is he's a dominant offensive player. If you look at his weighted runs created, and when he plays, he's a beast. The problem is he doesn't play. In his last 4 seasons, he's missed half a season here, most of the other ones, and like, this was his full rookie year, and I mean he was a beast. And so can he put that together, age 28 to age 35? Is he going to be able to
Yeah,
put together some healthy seasons? Because I mean, when he's on the field, he's the man.
yeah, his rookie year is like, can he if he does that for another like 3 years, but
He's gonna have to.
he's gonna have to get into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he's going to really need to put together, 120 game seasons to put up those 5-6 WAR seasons for the next few at least. And so at the end, we'll look at the spreadsheet and you'll see exactly
Yeah,
how
but
far
his
up these
rookie year
guys
was
are.
probably his best because
There's no question it was his
he
best.
only missed like 7 games.
Exactly. No question it was his best. So, all right, we're getting into the top 5. We're skipping a guy in the top 5, and you'll see why. But number 5 overall, and we threw in a few DHs here because there aren't that many DHs. So we threw him at the right fielder because that's probably where they would play. First base, right field, something like that. So we got to put them somewhere, and we don't need a whole video on them.
And
So
well, we have to put 2 Rookie of the Years together because they're
why
both
not?
rookies.
We don't have to, but we choose to. All right. So
Okay.
Yordan Alvarez came on just hitting last year like a madman. So, he had 3 WAR in his rookie season. So really, this is an age-based thing. So what you're looking for out of these guys is a combination of youth, and are you going to start raking right away and putting up the stats? So he's got the youth thing on his side. He's got knee problems, which could be an issue going forward. But when he plays,
Yeah, this year
he's
he
a
did
beast.
barely. He did barely anything this year, but last year was probably pretty amazing.
It was
Yes.
amazing. He was a rookie of the year with 178 weighted runs created, but that 159. So he can do it when he's on the field. But again, this might be a little bit of an injury issue with Yordan Alvarez. So we can see. Oh, Tom, we forgot our price charts. Aaron Judge. Here we go, Aaron Judge. So here's his long-term price chart here, and you had a lot of resistance to this area when it broke out. It kind of supported this, tested this area of support, and then it rocketed up. Now let's come back to this area again. I think you're just going to see buyers come back into this area here. So
But up around the 250 area was
too much.
Too much.
$50 for a guy that's questionable seems to be the price. All right. Yordan Alvarez. And so you can see when he came out, there was a lot of demand for his cards, but it's been slowly trending south. Again, there's a lot of questions about his health and all that kind of good
Staying
stuff.
at like
So
50, that is decent.
again, yeah, 50 for those prospects or guys that are, there's a lot of question marks. That $50 to $60 area is kind of the deal.
The area that everybody's at like the year or 2 years after their rookie years, like 70 to 90, or maybe
Well,
even,
if they're
or maybe even 40.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're all going to have a price somewhere. So, all right, number 3 on our list here. Yeah, Jordan's 5. We're going to skip number 4. Number 3 on our list is Ronald Acuna. We went over him in center field, but I just wanted to touch him again.
Positions.
He moves around a little bit. He's mostly in center field. He had 34 games in center field, right field, so it's kind of split evenly between those two.
And happy early birthday in like 9 days.
Oh yeah, terrific.
9 days.
Very good. So yeah, we won't have to go over this too much again, but offensive beast. And what I really wanted to look at is his price action here. So you can see that.
That is amazing.
Well, I mean that's amazing.
It's staying up
It's respecting.
about like over 100, but now it's down to like 150.
Last week when we did center fielders, was in this area, we said, you know what, this is a spot where even though it's making a new low, this is where buyers come in. You should be buying, and here he is again. So you could see him now if he has a good year this year.
Big one at 300, but then it gets down to about 150.
Yeah, and so that's where you see like the Soto, Acuna, and stuff like that. And so I think if he has a good year again, then he's going to be really, really obviously on a longer term path, and you could see this price back up to the $200 area. So he's looking good, looking good. Now tomorrow we're going to go over PSA 9 versus PSA 10, and there's an interesting opportunity in Acuna cards. So I'll show you that tomorrow. So that's one of the more interesting players for me. Again, it's obvious that he's a great player, but what do you do? Buy him. So, all right. Number 2, Bryce Harper. And this is everybody's favorite player. Everyone loves Bryce Harper. So everyone's. I like Bryce. He's an incredible baseball player. There's no getting around that.
I would say he did pretty good on the Nationals, but
he did pretty great.
I would say
he didn't have anything around him. As soon as he left, and then as soon as he left,
the Phillies, in 2019, he was just wow.
He's still good. This is nearly a five win player.
114 RBI.
Exactly. So he
35 bombs. And that's just amazing.
28 years old, already putting up 36 WAR. I mean, that's actually pretty amazing stuff here. I don't think people realize.
And he started playing at my birth year.
That's right.
Sweet.
Yeah. So he's
on.
Love him or hate him. He's definitely on the track.
36.7 WAR. That is just pretty good.
That's really good. It's really good. We'll put that into context in a minute here. So Tom, Card Ladder didn't have a price chart for Bryce Harper.
So we made our own.
I found another service, and it's really professional, and they did a great job with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what we're going to do, I mean, I'm going to, I think people should pay lots of money to subscribe to this service. So,
man,
yeah. No, that's beautiful.
Wow.
That's art. That is art.
That is like professional art.
At the end of the
we should be that is like the most famous art ever.
It is. It's going to hang on a wall somewhere. So, at the end of the season, I did my top 20 for the year, and Bryce Harper was way up there, and this was a $60 card at the time. So, this is a couple months ago. And it didn't make sense to me. It's like this should be probably higher. And recently, it's been going for about $100 for a PSA 10.
I'm just so proud of that.
It's beautiful. It is beautiful. I'm tearing up a little here. So, the number 1 card for right fielders, the number 1 player on a Hall of Fame track,
and Mookie Betts.
Yeah, no surprise there, right?
Only 28.
Exactly. He's Harper's age, but he's got a couple additional WAR. So you look at it, Harper 38 WAR, Mookie, but look at what Mookie's doing.
40.2.
Exactly. They're very close together. So Mookie,
but
again,
Mookie, he has like 32.
2 monster seasons and a couple. I mean, he's done it in.
Yep.
He's compressed. Bryce Harper's been around for a couple extra years. Mookie has been in since 2014, not 2012, so he's had to compress his stats a little bit more. But well on the track, we all know Mookie, just an awesome offensive player. Defense is terrific.
10.4 WAR in 2018. That was just amazing.
MVP. But despite that, he can bowl 300 games
and 32 home runs.
Exactly. The offensive numbers are there.
So 2016 and 2018
he is who he
were
is,
his
and this is
seasons.
one of the top 2 best players in the game is what he is. So. One more look. That's glorious. All right. Mookie Betts' price has been compressing over the past few months. He had a spike, and now it's just ping-ponging here.
Staying at like 0 and then going up to 100.
Zero. It's not exactly 0. It's more like $50. But yeah, wow. That card has been around. Right now it's about 400, and it's been high as 800. So it got cut in half. So it's compressing. And when you have this, you just kind of watch the price, because if it goes up, then you're going to probably see something up in there. But if
And
it goes
then,
down, you're going to have another chance at Mookie at about $150,
A
which
couple
is too
of
cheap.
people made some oopties at like 700.
There's a little bit of, it's a low volume play. You want the high volume stuff. And you're seeing a lot of volume in here. So this will just keep going. And then when it breaks out, I think people start chasing. If it breaks down, then I'm going to start chasing. So otherwise we're letting it go. So,
Did it go at 300?
Exactly. So anyways, we'll, and so we'll go to the spreadsheet here. And I want to make sure that this thing fits. Magically resized. So the guys in the red, again, there's going to be a combination of age and what they need to accomplish to be on that track. And so they're not, it's not like don't collect these guys by any stretch, but it means be careful what you pay, because there's excellent players down here, but I think they're probably too expensive. So Nelson Cruz is one of my favorite players. Monster season, 164 weighted runs created.
He had 40. He had 41 home runs last year. I mean, last year.
Right. Well, 2 years ago. Yeah, abbreviated season, not quite. That would have been an amazing season. 6 All-Star games. He's got 3 top 10 MVPs. Started in 2005, but again, he's 40 years old and he's at 40 WAR. So can he age ridiculously gracefully and have like 3 more seasons of 5 or 6 wins and keep hitting 40 home runs? If he can do that, then he's around 500 and he'll kind of force the issue, even with his PED issues.
He's not even at Mookie Betts, and he has played even longer.
Very few are at Mookie Betts level. He got a late start. He didn't start till he was like 27 or something like that. So
yes, and Mookie Betts started when he was like 22.
A little bit older than that, because Bryce Harper's age.
24. Then.
There you go. Go with that one. So Charlie Blackmon, his cards were rocketing earlier this year. When he started out hitting like 400. But again, this is a 34-year-old with 21 WAR. And should his card be $100? Probably not. I would just let that go. JD Martinez, fantasy monster, but he had a very bad offensive season. And again, here's a 33-year-old needing 20 WAR over the next couple of years, but he's priced appropriately. $25 for a PSA 10. So really, $20 to $30 should be for all these guys. If it's not, be patient, because it likely gets
Mookie
there.
Betts up there 400.
We're not there yet.
Okay.
All right, but yeah, if you can kind of keep it in. So again, they can have terrific seasons in here, but if you can keep it to that $20 to $30 range, I think you're doing yourself a favor. Just outside of that range is Shohei Ohtani, but again, be careful. 26-year-old, which is 4 WAR. Here's what I like about him is if he has there's enough people eyeing Shohei Ohtani that if he has a really good season, that price could triple. Mm-hmm. So if you have it, I mean, it's a low shot, but be prepared to probably sell it, because his long-term prospects, who knows about the longevity. So then we see Aaron Judge at that number 9 spot. And I know it says 10 right there, but that the name doesn't count. So it's 9 technically.
Yeah, name. Nobody's named name.
Maybe there may be somebody out there named name. 28 years old, 18 WAR. Again, when he plays, he's a beast, but he needs to average close to 6 over age 35. And is this the type of guy that ages gracefully? I don't know. A couple of All-Star games, top 10 MVP finish. His 2017 Series 1 card goes for $55, because I think there's enough. He's a Yankee. He's a great player.
Yankees are always good.
I think that no, that's not true.
I mean, they have Mickey Mantle, they have Babe Ruth.
They've got some iconic players. There's no question about it. But you weren't around for the mid '80s, '80s, and early '90s. So I was. They were not always good. Then you have a couple players like Nomar Mazara and Franmil Reyes that honestly, they're gonna have to prove something, and they're being priced as.
You were around in the late '90s.
I was around in the late '90s, but they started to get good again in the mid '90s. So $20 to $30. So they're priced appropriately, because I don't think it's happening for them, and they probably drop off into this area with a couple more 2 to 3 WAR seasons. Alex Verdugo, I covered him in left fielders. I really like him a lot. He can hit. He's on a team that's young, and they could be around for a while and maybe do a little something here.
He's on another good team.
He's on another good team.
Dodgers and Yankees are probably
He's on the Red Sox, though. Remember who was traded? But Devers, Bogarts, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the Red Sox are also a good team, except they never make it to the play. I mean, they do make it to the playoffs, they just never make it to the World Series.
So can he? And he was on that pace this year. Can he be kind of a 300 hitter and play for a long time and compile stats? I mean, that could happen. There's not a lot of power there, but maybe it comes. So then we talked about Yordan Alvarez. $45 is probably, again, fair, when you have like an upper level prospect or a older player that has some question mark. That's kind of the number here. Joe Adell I left out because he hasn't done anything yet, and when he has, he just kind of lets balls bounce off his glove and go over the fence. So let's see him do something first before we do. Yeah, that was Jose's head. Then the top three: Acuna, kind of that 165 area, All-Star game, top 10 MVP. So all these guys, couple of MVPs, a lot of All-Star games, and these guys are solidly on the track. And so I think there's room for Harper to continue to go up as people just kind of resign themselves to the fact that he's getting in at some point, as long as he stays healthy and plays a few more years. And then Mookie Betts, when you get to that top tier of guys like the Cabrera, the Pujols, not quite Trout.
He's only been playing for like 4 years, and he's already at 6.
Yeah.
And he's already up at that level.
Yeah, well, that's a very, very special player. So that's why you pay a very, very special price.
I mean, he was on the he was one of the top players on the Red Sox with Devers and Bogarts. But now that he's on the Dodgers, he has Cody Bellinger and all those.
He's got help. It's not going to hurt him at all. So yeah. So anyways, that's what we got for you. Hope you enjoyed. And those are the right fielders that we are targeting for the most part. So
Mookie Betts is most likely in all of those to make it to the Hall of Fame.
Oh, that's what the numbers would say. And Bryce Harper right behind him, and he's probably the best value on the board. So, all right, man. Have a good night.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.